Okay, so this is exercise 3-1. Go ahead and um, open the Architectural Imperial template. There we go. We are in paper space, and I know in every video, just as repetition, because I want to repeat everything. That way you can start memorizing the lingo in AutoCAD. This is paper space, and then we got to go to model space to do all the work before we show anything in paper space. All right, let's go into model space. All right, if you look at page 3-1, it says make sure we are on the 0 layer, and so I am in the 0 layer. If it says def points right here, just go into the 0 layer. Now for my Mac people, just find out where layers are. It's probably on this side, and make sure you're on the 0 layer. All right, so what we are going to draw are rectilinear objects. Rectilinear. Rectal means up and down. And so let's go ahead and start off with the bookcase. Well, here we're going to use the rectangle tool. So REC, spacebar. And we're going to specify the base point. So 0, 0, 0. All right, where are we at? Over here. Okay, and then we're going to type in 3 feet, tab, 1 foot, enter. And this is our bookcase. So this is going to go relatively fast. All right. So we're supposed to save these on as its own separate file. So Control Shift S. On a Mac, it's Command Shift S. And let me go to my desktop. Let's go to AutoCAD, assignments, and let's change this to exercise 3-1. Save. And now that bookcase, oops, probably should have saved it as bookcase. Let's go back. So let's change this to bookcase. And the next one is coffee table. So Control Shift S. Now we are making a coffee table. So what we're doing is we are developing the furniture that we are going to put in our, eventually, if you look deeper into the text, a set of floor plans. But as we are drawing these furnitures, we're also learning new commands and retaining the original, the first commands that we started learning about, rectangle, REC. We're going to learn some new ones, the fillet command, the stretch command we already know, I showed you that. So we're going to get into that right now. So coffee table, let's save that. All right, and it says let's erase this. So REC 0, 0, 0, and the first we're going to do is 3 feet 10.5 inches. Now I said you can use decimals for entering dimensions when you're using the rectangle command, and that's exactly what the book is showing you. But if you want to really memorize how to enter in fractions, in case you come across fractions that aren't as forgivable as half, to convert half into decimal is just 0.5. So that's pretty a forgiving conversion. But something like, I don't know, 7/8. That's a little bit more difficult to memorize, and so I would say get in the habit of hitting dash and 1/2, and that way you memorize this process of entering um, fractions. Now later on down the line, when you have this and it becomes second nature on entering fractions, by all means use 0.5. I do that all the time. There's no big deal in that. And so, but for now, um, if you don't really have entering fractions down, practice it more and more. But when you mastered it and you know how to do it and you feel comfortable that you can just let go of practicing it and just put 0.5, then go ahead and put 0.5. So 0.5 tab, and we're looking at 1 feet 6 inches. And the book. Oh, the book also mentions on page 3-2 that you can enter 46.5 inches. That's doing conversions in your head. I mean, if you could do that, great. If not, I think the one of 3 ways is completely acceptable. And they didn't really give an idea on how to do 1 foot 6 inches. But if you look at the examples entering fractions, you can do that in this way, in one of these 3 ways. And so, 1 foot 6, I can just put 1.5 feet, because half a foot is 6 inches, and hit enter. And then there is my coffee table. And so if you didn't quite understand what I did, then you can just enter 1 foot 6 inches, and you'll be fine with that. So let me go ahead and Control S, save that because I haven't saved, and then Control Shift S because we're moving on to the next item, desk. All right, so let's do desk, and the desk is pretty much the same thing as the coffee table in terms of how to make it. Oh, we got to put -1 because I believe there's several desks and we need to delineate different types of desks. So don't forget to put the -1. All right. So let's go ahead and hit save, and we can delete this. There's another way to do it, and the book is about to show us how we can do this. But let's just practice rectangle, space bar, rectangle, space bar, 0, 0, 0, space bar, and we're looking at 3 feet, 36 inches, tab, 18 inches, 1 foot 6, and enter. Control S for save, Control Shift S, and we are doing a nightstand. And so let me go ahead and type in nightstand. Oops, sorry, not nightstand, night table. There we go. All right, 1 foot 6. So we need to take this. This 36 inches and make it 18 inches. Well, half of 36 is 18. And the book tells us to do it a certain way. I know that if I use the stretch command, which they're telling us to do, I can hit the letter S, spacebar, select, and then I hit the spacebar. Now I'm going to grab from here, not here, because I want to make sure I use this endpoint. And watch this. I can stretch this in any way, but I want to make sure I am going to use ortho. I know the book says to use polar, and you can. And I'm going to use this endpoint to this line that I drew. And now I can see that from here to here is, in fact, 1'6". And I already know this side is 1'6" because that's what I drew it from the previous drawing. And I'm just using AutoCAD to help me real quick to draw this line out here. And I just need to verify again, go to properties, and sure enough, yeah, 1'6". And so that is good to go. And in case you want to know how I did exactly what I did with these lines, line, spacebar, I just go up and I just pick an arbitrary point that is away from all of these snaps. And then I go over here and I want to roll over this endpoint because AutoCAD, if you notice, let me zoom in, see that green dashed line? It's helping me. It's letting me know that that is 1'6" right there. Actually, let's undo and let me turn on my ortho. Control L. There we go, ortho. And now, there we go. Ortho's let me know right here, this endpoint. Boom. Done. And I know this'll connect as well. And that's how I'm able to create this line and exact without having to come over here and do that. Now, there's another way to do it if you don't trust that, and I get it because I have a little paranoia as well. I could copy this line here to here. This is the exact same size line. Boom, there to there. And now I can delete these construction lines. We talked about construction lines. And voila, 1'6". And I know it's parallel to here because I drew one line, copied it, and bam. And I knew the exact distance from here to here and here to here are equally the same. Anyway, so that's a little construction line tip on how you can use AutoCAD to help you draft things perfectly with precision. All right, so let me go ahead and save that. And now let's get into, let's see what's on the next page. All right, the dresser on page 3-5. So we've got dresser 1, dresser 2, and desk 2. Let's go ahead and draft those real quick. All right, so Control S for save, Control Shift S, and let me go ahead and change this to dresser 1, or dresser -1. Save. And we need to delete this rectangle, 0, 0, 0, space bar. We got 6 feet, 6 feet, tab, 2 feet, enter. That didn't quite work. All right, 6 feet, tab, 2 feet, enter. There we go. Okay. And we have a 4-foot line that's separated by 2 4-inch lines. And so one way to draw it is, let's just draw a 4-foot line. 48 inches, enter. And then let's just draw 4 inches. And we can draw another 4 inches, or we can copy that. I'm just choosing to draw it. I'm also going to choose to draw it at the midpoint. Or you know what? Instead of copy, check this out. Instead of drawing it, CO, copy, check this out. Spacebar, drop one at the midpoint, drop one at the end point. And now I'm going to move all of these to the midpoint, right there. Delete this construction line, because I needed to know the midpoint from here to here. And we have our dresser. And that one's done. Control S, Control Shift S, and now we need to draw a dresser 2. And so I'm assuming this dresser 1, this is the mirror. If you've seen dressers with the mirror. So we can delete that. And this stretch command, we know we can move this back from 6 feet to 3 feet. So 36 inches. Done. That's the dresser. Save. Control Shift S onto desk number 2. -2. Save. Alright. So it looks like we can do rectangle 0, 0, 0. We need 5 feet, so 5 feet, tab, and 2 foot 8, 2 feet 8, enter. And now we need to make another one. Rectangle, REC. And now we need to go 1 foot 3. We're doing the width first. So you know how we typed in 5 foot first, and then we typed in 2 foot 8. So now I'm going to tab over 2 feet or 24 inches, enter. And I don't know why that went up like that, but I can move it. And done. This desk is done. So the move command, let's go back that up. Move, spacebar, select what I want to move. Spacebar, grab the endpoint, stick it at this endpoint. Done. Control S. And that is the dresser number 2. Moving on to the next item. File cabinet. And so that's just a rectangle. So Control Shift S. Oops, cancel. I don't remember if I saved this one. And so Control S, just to be cautious. Control Shift S. And now we got file cabinet. And this is just a rectangle. So go ahead and delete this. Delete. REC. 0, 0, 0, space. And we got 1 foot 3 tab and 2 foot 3. Enter. Done. Control S for save. Control Shift S for save as. And now we're going on to the chair -1. And so the chair can be drawn well, it can be drawn in several ways. So we have rectangle. Let's delete that. Rectangle. Space 0, 0, 0. Enter. And now we're doing 2 feet 8. 2 feet 8. Tab. And 2 foot 3. I probably could have stretched the filing cabinet from 1 foot 3 to 2 foot 8, but oh well. All right. Enter. What just happened? Zoom. Extents. Delete. I don't know what just happened. All right. I made something. So 0, 0, 0. Enter. 2 foot 8. Tab 1, 2 foot 3. 2 foot 3. There we go. There we go. Okay, and it looks like the inner rectangle, just going to make it over here, is 2 feet, so 24, tab 2-3. And I want to move this to here. I'm grabbing the midpoint. And then I want to move this down 3 inches. And we have this part. How do we get rid of this part? Trim. We can trim from here. It selects, and it's not showing you how to use trim right now, but I'm showing you how to use it because this is really easy. So we selected the objects that we need to trim from, spacebar, and bam. This chair is done. Spacebar, I'm out of the command, and that is done. So that was the trim command. Let me go ahead and do that one more time. So TR for trim, spacebar, select the objects, and this hole is one object. That's why it's a little blue. And if I hit spacebar, I'm trimming from anything that's between here and here. And so spacebar, I'm telling AutoCAD that I want to trim this. I just left click on it and it's gone. Spacebar, I'm out of the command. All right, so that's how you use trim. Control S, Control Shift S. Now we need to make a sofa. There we go. And we need to stretch this from 2 feet 8 to 6 foot 2. I don't want to do the calculations, so I'm just going to draw 6 foot 2 inch. Enter. And I'm going to draw straight up because this is where I'm going to end with the stretch command. Watch this. Stretch, spacebar, select. And it's important where you select. You got to select right anywhere before over here. So anywhere, like I could select here and it'll still stretch, but if I go over here, it'll stretch differently. So it'll stretch from this cutting plane where you see. And I'll give you an example. So I select right here, space bar, and now I want to move this over to here, and I know that's perfect. But let's go back, stretch, and what if I go over? Let's see what happens. Look what stretches. So you have to make sure that when you stretch, this line you stretched, this line you stretched, but none of these were stretched. So let's go back. Stretch. I need to stretch these two lines right here and this line. I don't need to stretch this small line right here or this small line right here. So stretch. I cut through that. Move over. Done. Escape. Delete this construction line. Control S, save, Control Shift, and we're moving right along. We are going to do a double bed. Our bed size is the double. And go ahead and hit save. And it looks like we need to delete this, so rectangle. REC 0, comma, REC. Yeah, 0, comma, 0, comma, 0. Space bar. And it looks like we need 4.5 feet. Tab. And 6 feet, 8 inches. There we go. We need to draw a line that's parallel to here. That's 3 inches away and 1 foot 4 inches away. So here's what I'm going to do. Check this out. I'm going to draw another line. I'm going to use the offset command. Now, it doesn't really show you the offset command right here, but I'm going to show it to you because I think this is a good spot to show it. There's a lot of things that you've already known. So there's several ways to do it. I can go right here, draw a construction line, come down 3 inches, come across, come down another 1 foot 4 inches, and I could actually stop there and then just delete that. Delete that. I can take these grips, move them over here. And that's one way to do it. Let's see, these pillows. It's not really saying what these pillow sizes are. And so I'm just going to do rectangles, REC. And looks like probably something like this. Maybe a little bit. Maybe we're going to need to stretch this a little bit, so I'm using stretch command. There we go. And then I'm going to copy CO, and I'm going to copy. Oop, no, I need to stretch this some more. Stretch. There we go. Copy. And probably need to stretch this a little bit more. There we go. Delete that. Copy. And that looks more like it. And so now there looks like a right triangle here. It's not giving us the size, but we can guesstimate. And now I can use trim to trim here, here, and just use trim again for here and here. And there you have it. The bed is done. Double bed is done. So, Control S for save. This was the double. Control Shift S. Let's do queen. And now we need to stretch this 6 inches. Stretch. Right in between. 6. Let me explain exactly what it is. So S, spacebar, and right there, cut in between, spacebar, and I'm going to select over here so I can move over 3 inches. Check this out. 3. And do the same over here and move this 3. And now what I want to do is move this over a little bit and move this over a little bit, and then I could use the trim command or I can move it like that. And then queen is done. See, Control S. And now we need to do the king. Now we need to stretch this to 6 feet. So Control Shift S. Let's type in, I forgot to put bed dash queen. So bed dash queen, save, Control Shift S, bed dash king. Alright, the reason why I stretch this over 3 inches this way and then this way, because we need from here to here to be, we needed it to be 5 feet. So, and I'm just going to copy this line, this construction line that I did. Make a new line. Check the properties and look. The length was off. So I did a boo-boo. Let's find out. We need this to be 5 feet. Delete. Delete. Length 5. Yep, we were off just a smidge. Alright, so stretch right here, come over here, and there we go. And that happens sometimes in AutoCAD. And this is why you got to double check your work. And now we're at 5 feet. Okay. That is great. Now I got to actually say Control Shift S. And I'm glad I did this because now I need to save this as queen because I just fixed the queen. Do I need to replace it? Yes, I do. And now I fixed the queen, so and this happens. This happens. You're on a roll. And you forget to double check, double check. So now we need up, and we need to copy this. And I'm just going to select over here, arbitrary spot, 6 feet. And that's where we need to go. We need to go 6 feet. And if I need to verify that this is 6 feet, draw a line here. Yep, 6 feet it is. Okay, I'm going to delete that. Stretch. But I want to stretch 3 inches this way. I'm sorry, 6 inches this way, 6 inches this way, because I don't want to distort and have to redraw anything. And so let's do this. Let's copy this. And yeah, let's move this over, move to the center. And that way we know all we have to do is stretch this, stretch, S, spacebar, stretch this from here to here, and then stretch this, stretch, there we go, here to there. And I know this is 6 feet. Probably should move this over a bit. Move. There we go. I can grab this and snap it to there. Delete that and Control S. Oop. Dang it, I saved that as queen. Control S. Control Shift S. I gotta fix this. So I'll go back to king. Yes. Alright, stretch. And I'm glad this happens, because you guys get to learn from, simple mistakes when you're trying to go quick. Move, spacebar, move that over a little bit. Let's move this over a little bit. That way you don't have to redraw anything. And you're just fixing very little. And so that's the mindset of a drafter. Try and do, and I consider it, yeah, let me replace that. I consider it like a game in my head, where like, what's the minimal amount of commands I can use to execute what I need to execute. And you saw just what I did using the save command. And in fact, let's go here. And I want to view by, let's view or sort by type. Alright, this makes things easier. So we just did exercise 3-1. We did the sofa, queen, here's the king. So this file I can trash. I can see, let's say view, extra large icons. Alright. Maybe just large icons. Yep, here we go. So king, that's the right one. Double, that's the right one. Let's go to queen. Queen, I need to fix this one, because I deleted those construction lines. And I need to remember that this needs to be 5 feet. Okay, great. I'm just double checking my work. Control S. So I had to double back and make sure that the queen that I saved is correct. And let me go ahead and save. Close that out. Here's the king. And let me go ahead and double check my files. All right. So, sofa, night table, file cabinet, dresser 2, queen, bookcase, chair, um, coffee table, desk 1, desk 2, dresser 1. Assuming we're going to do a dresser 2 eventually. King, double. Okay, that looks like that's it. Let's go back to king and control shift, or I'm sorry, control P. Don't forget to publish your files into PDF. And so AutoCAD PDF general documentation, and instead of display, let's go to window, and just like the rectangle, we're just going over the portion, and you can see with this hatched box, that's where the drawing is. That's roughly how big it is. Now if I center plot it, it's going to move it to the center. If I want to preview it, there we go. The majority of what I'm about to make a PDF out of, or print, if I wanted to print this, is going to be on the majority of the, and so all I'm saying is to maximize the amount of space using window for the drawing. So we're essentially scaling up the drawing to print out in the maximum amount of space. So if your drawing is like this big, I know that you didn't use window, and or if I only see like the top half of the bed, I know you didn't hit center plot or fit to paper. Window, again, I need to come over here and select. So make sure you're doing that with all of your drawings and continue. Let's see, PDF, hit OK, and it saves as PDF. Done. There you go. The majority of my drawing is on this 8.5 by 11 size PDF. And let me zoom out so you can see what I'm talking about. From here to here is 11 inches. I wonder if there's a ruler. Yeah, there's not a ruler. Oh, wait. Here. No. Anyway, if I go to print this, I know this is 11 inches by 8.5 because it says it right here. Anyway, that is all. Thank you.